Ladies and gentlemen, hey hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. This upcoming week for Call of Duty is going to be a pretty interesting one, just because it's really different from what we're used to seeing. Now, usually, today would be update day, and honestly it kind of is, but only partially. You see, it's already getting very weird. So we have portions of our next update that are now live, but there is also more to come later on tonight/tomorrow as well. And as far as what we know about upcoming changes and updates, there's even more to discuss there too. So today we're breaking down all the big upcoming changes that Infinity Ward recently revealed. So if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new to the channel, we are always covering the latest Call of Duty news and intel. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on if you want to stay up to date with all of that stuff. Now, as I said, part of this week's update is already live, as we now have the brand new Talon Operator available in the store. But the main content is still yet to come, as tonight at 11 p.m. Pacific time or 2 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning, we'll end up seeing quite a few new things added into the game, for both multiplayer and also Warzone as well. So in multiplayer, the big update is going to be the brand new 6v6 map called Candor Hideout. Now this was obviously previewed on the Season 2 roadmap, so yeah, we've known that this was coming for quite some time now. However, we just didn't know exactly when it was coming. Of course though, tomorrow is now officially the day, and this will be a free map for everyone who owns multiplayer in Modern Warfare. Infinity Ward describes Candor Hideout as a medium-sized map in Kyrgyzstan, I'm probably mispronouncing that, let's just be honest here, that supports 6v6 play and has long sightlines and interior spaces to complement diverse combat ranges. The large, centrally located warehouse is a hub of activity and also a haven for CQB players. Hunt down your enemies and be wary of marksmen firing down the various lanes. So honestly, just going off of that, we don't necessarily get a ton of information, but it doesn't seem like it'll be too out of the ordinary compared to most of our other multiplayer 6v6 maps. But, like I said, this one will be free for absolutely everyone who owns multiplayer, and I'm sure at some point we'll probably see a brand new playlist based around it, where we may have Candor Hideout 24/7, or even a mix of Shoot House, Candor Hideout, Shipments, or any of the other 24/7 maps that we've seen recently. Then, in addition to that, we are also going to be getting some quote-unquote new weapons, although they're not technically all that new. Here, Infinity Ward revealed that the 725 shotgun, the MK2 carbine, the 50 GS, and also the EBR-14 will all be available in the world of Warzone moving forward. So this means that all of these weapons will be available as ground loot, and you should be able to find them out of stashes as well. So, like I said, they're new, but also not so much, because we've already had these weapons in the game, obviously, and you can also equip all of these on your custom loadouts, and you can even already find the MK2 carbine in stashes right now too as a variant. So they're new to the loot pool, but not totally new in general. Now, I won't lie, when I first read that Warzone would be getting 4 new weapons, I was honestly really excited. And then I clicked on the blog post and lo and behold, it's just 4 weapons we already have that we couldn't find as ground loot before. So some clever wordplay on behalf of Infinity Ward there. Can't blame them though, it is what it is. Also, I do want to point out, literally all of these weapons are like the standard 1-shot or 2-shot powerhouses. The 725 is as broken as can be over in multiplayer, although in Warzone I will say it's not nearly as effective. The MK2 carbine can be really powerful if you have good aim and can consistently hit headshots. The 50 GS is a beast if you hit headshots, and the EBR I believe is a 1 to 2 shot headshot depending on the range, and it is also really powerful all around too. So for accurate players, this new series of loot is honestly going to be perfect. Now, outside of what we know is coming for sure with tonight's update, there's also a handful of other changes and updates that we do know are coming soon as well. I do want to preface this though, these changes do not have any official release dates, so they could be live at some point today, perhaps some of these will be live as this video is going up, or they could be live next week, we're honestly just not 100% sure. But that said, over on Twitter, Joe Seacott replied to Swag regarding the status of downed players leaving Warzone games and you not getting the kill credit for it. As here, Swag said, "Is there any way to make it so that you get a kill confirmed for players who leave the game when they're downed? And to this, Joe replied saying, "This change is in development and it'll be going live in a future update." So this is definitely a small but noticeable change. Of course, it's never going to be ideal when you knock down a player, and then before you're able to wipe out the remainder of their squad, or even just clean up that kill, that team backs out of the lobby and you don't get any points or kill credit for it. So I am certainly glad that's being changed in the future. We also recently got an update on the brand new Mastery camo coming to the game soon, and for this one, we actually have a pretty good idea of when it's releasing, simply based off the process of elimination. As you may recall, at the beginning of the month, we got a confirmation from Joel Emsley saying that a brand new Mastery camo is coming to the game, either at the very end of March or at the very start of April. And so, more recently, Joel also said that the Master camo is looking good, aka it's basically complete at this point, and so if we don't see it included in the update tonight, then it'll either be releasing next week with the update on March 31st, or potentially on Tuesday, April 7th. Which, as of now, is also the same day that Season 3 is set to go live. So, sometime during the next few weeks, or potentially even later this week, we should have a brand new Mastery camo available to unlock through gameplay. And that is also a key takeaway from this too. This new camo, whatever it may be, Diamonds, Black Sky, Spectrum, you name it, is going to be unlocked through playing the game, just like Gold, Platinum, and Damascus. This will not be something you can just simply buy in the store. So we should have some kind of new grind ahead of us in the coming days or weeks. Then the next change that we know is coming at some point in the future, this one I would assume is probably going to be a little further out, is some ability to at least partially remap buttons on controllers for Warzone. So a user tweeted at Joe Secot asking if button remaps were in the works for controllers, specifically to remap the ping button, as sometimes you can fat finger it and accidentally call in a streak or use one of your other D-pad functions instead. Now, of course, PC players don't really have this problem because they can fully remap all of their keybinds, from the marking button to voice chat to shooting if they wanted to, whereas controller is limited to button layouts, which can be convenient in their own respect, but they don't offer nearly as much customization. However, have no fear, because Joe Secot replied to that tweet and said that they're simply working on some stuff. Now, obviously, some stuff is not very detailed whatsoever, and it also doesn't provide any clear time frame either. But at the very least, it does confirm that some button remapping or additional button layouts are in the works for controller players, and that'll be available sometime in the future. So even more good news there. Then another update that we don't really have an exact time frame for, but we do know it'll be coming at some point in the future, is that of larger squad-based modes for Warzone. Now, this could be quads, this could be fives. Infinity Ward said that they've tested both internally, but they didn't specify which we'll get first, or even if we'll be getting both of them. It could very well be one or the other. Honestly, once again, we're just not too sure. This is something I know a lot of players are wanting though, and seeing as they added in solos just a week into Warzone's release, I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw one of these two modes added in either later today or tomorrow, or at some point next week. However, that also then raises the question of limited time modes. If quads were to be added in, would that replace solos? Would that replace the trios? Or would we then have the options of solos, trios, and quads? Or even further on down the road, solos, trios, quads, and fives? Unfortunately, we're not really going to know until we see another mode added into the game, but it is something to consider for the time being. Also, speaking of limited time modes, we could actually begin to see these added in with the new updates each week, as just recently, a high action LTM was found in the game files. So as far as the playlists go in Warzone, a lot could be changing in the near future. Anyways, with all of that being said, those are the big changes that we know will be coming to Modern Warfare at some point in the future, and that is going to wrap things up for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it, and of course, if you're new here and you want to stay up to date with the latest Call of Duty news and intel, updates and leaks, and pretty much everything else in between, feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on, that way you'll always know when I upload a new video. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL on all Scuff, G Fuel, Control Freak, and Respawn products. All of those links can be found down in the description below. And once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.